Hi Pico Brewers. Many times I get requests for specific beers and how to clone a recipe. I'm going to share with you some of the tips and tricks and things that I do when I'm creating a recipe. Many of these breweries put out a lot of information on the internet. Some tell you the gravity of the beer. They tell you the hops that they use. They even tell you the grain bill. And from there, you can build your own recipe. And you can use the recipe crafter in the PicoBrew.com to try to help you build that beer. You'll see the small pint glasses that's in the corner. From there, you can construct the color. And using the information that some of the brewers give you, you can start putting together the grain bill and the hops bill. But sometimes they don't do that. So what do? Well, if you get to a search engine, whichever one that you use, put in that beer with the word clone after it. And you will get many clone versions of that beer. All clones are not created equally. So what you need to do is go into those specific ones that you search and see what people are saying about it. And you will have a lot of opinions from various home brewers to tell you about flavors. So go ahead and do that, and then from there you can start to build one. What I'm going to do for you is show you how I build a good clone of Sierra Nevada. It's one of my favorite beers. This is the pale ale I'm talking about, but on a separate note, all Sierra Nevada beers, they give away all their information to you. And because it's such a popular beer, they also give away their yeast. They don't give it out from the brewery, but White Labs or Y yeast and even Fermentus dry yeast all have ale yeast that will help you produce that signature flavor. So what you want to do is first go to that brewery's website. I've gotten to the pale ale. I navigate to the bottom and I can see right here, because Sierra Nevada is so awesome, they've given me their yeast, which I know is their signature Chico ale yeast. You can get that through White Labs or Y yeast, or you can use dry ale yeast. They tell me their bittering hops and their finishing hops. As we talked about before in our hopping rule, we know how to add those, and then also with our bittering hops, we can see those, and we know those go into the beginning of the beer. Here they also tell us the kind of malts, two-row and caramel. Caramel is another word for crystal malt, and when you see caramel on anybody's web page, any brewery, it generally is a 40 or a 60. And what I mean by 40 and 60 are Lovey Bond. And Lovey Bond is a reference to how the malt is kilned, how dark it is, and how much sweetness it will impart. So for a pale ale, you'll see caramel, so 40 or 60 will be just fine. So here I am at the PicoBrew Recipe Crafter, and I want to make my Sierra Nevada Pale Ale clone. So I go ahead and give it a name. For today I'm going to put Sierra Nevada. I'm going to choose the type of beer that it is, and we know that it's a pale ale, and this should be 10A. And these are my vital statistics, which I can also compare to Sierra Nevada's website. I'm going to use the 80-20 or the 90-10 rule. That's the base malt versus the specialty malt. So I'm going to use American two-row because this is an all-American beer. And then I knew that it was caramel malt, which is, like I said before, is crystal 40 or 60. I'm going to use 60. So I'm going to stick with the vital statistics here to try to figure out how to make this beer. I know Sierra Nevada is 6% alcohol, so I'm going to build it using the Abv Calculator. So first I'll start with my pale malt. I know I'm already up to 5.1%. That's before choosing yeast. And now I want to get my color. I drink a lot of Sierra Nevada, so I know what my color should be. But don't worry if you're a little bit off. It won't change the flavor of the beer. So I think that's a good way to go. But I haven't selected my yeast yet or my hops. I know that they're Magnum and Pearl hops are for bittering. So I go ahead and select those, and I know that the signature Cascade hop is what I want for finishing. And I know Sierra Nevada smells and tastes awfully good with those hops. So I think I'll do 2 additions for that. So for bittering, I know they mean 60 for at least one of the additions, and probably 30 for another. Because Pearl and Magnum are interchangeable, you can go ahead and use them any way you want. And by interchangeable, I mean they're bittering hops. So they can go at any point in the bittering portion of the boil. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my finishing hops at 10 minutes and 5 minutes. If I go back to my Sierra Nevada website, it tells me on the left side that my bitterness is at 38. So I'm going to go back, put in my amounts. A ½ ounce is a good place to start. And because of the way that the recipe crafter is designed, I can go ahead and calculate my bitterness just by plugging in 38, and it adjusts all my hop additions. 5.3%. This is 5.6. I still haven't selected my yeast, but I know that it is American ale yeast. So I'm going to go ahead and use the California ale yeast. I'm at 5.4%. I may not get it exact, but I think it looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and save this recipe. So there you have an attempt at a Sierra Nevada clone. So don't be afraid to go out, check the web, check for clone recipes, experiment on your own because the process is so refined and ease of use when you're using your Zymatic. Tweak the recipe, try different yeasts, try the liquid yeast, try the dry yeast, and read different recipes, email me, check the forums. Don't be afraid to experiment. That's all I can say, because no matter what you do, you're always going to have a delicious beer to drink. I'm Annie Johnson, PicoBrew Brewmaster.